So it was easier for them to recognize when they were doing what they intended to do with this lifetime. That would help to keep you centered, wouldn't it? If you felt like, right away, if you felt like that wasn't happening, you'd get back onto what you were supposed to do. Okay? They also had this orientation, this major orientation right here, called the divine plan. In our civilization, there is no plan. It's been 16 billion years of happy little accidents that ended up with you sitting on that chair. That's the way our science looks at it. It might as well have been an explosion in a chemical factory that produced you here. There was no divine plan. These guys had a divine plan. They knew, and that there were 20 different aspects of creation. Like a dodecahedron, you know, the geometry figure, 20-sided figure. So this personal intent and this orientation to the divine plan, that is the recognition of your part in the divine plan, that produces a symbol in the Mayan civilization. This diagram right here has a name. It's called the 8-division sky place. And that symbol stands for heaven. You've been there. There are moments in your life when you were oriented by time and place. You knew you were doing what you desired or wanted to do, and you knew you were a part of something much larger than yourself. Felt cool, didn't it? Heavenly, huh? This is the importance of this calendar. The Mayan calendar was never about time. It was always about measuring and keeping track of the flow of creation and the intent of creation and the aspect of creation every single day. Remember, there's one law in the universe. What you pay attention to, you become conscious of. So what if every day you were paying attention to the energy of this flow of creation? What would you become conscious of? So, would it be easier to have your consciousness attuned to your intuition? Easier isn't all that good a word. It's automatic. Without any effort, without any thinking about it at all. And I mean no meditating, I mean no, just forget it. You look in the morning to see what the intent of creation is for that day. Then you go and you live your life. The Maya woke up every morning and celebrated the day for the purpose it served onto creation, and then went and lived their lives. Every day. You know what the word entrainment is? Entrainment is the automatic syncopation of life forms or even mechanical objects. Science doesn't have a real good explanation of why it happens, but they sure know it happens. One example is a baby and a mother, and when they're nursing, the mother and the baby's heart go into rhythm. They beat at the same time. That's called entrainment. It's a natural matching up. It works for objects too. If you take cuckoo clocks in a clock shop, for instance, and you get them all ticking at different times, within a week or so, they'll all be ticking and talking at exactly the same time. It's called entrainment. And what this is a tool to entrain your consciousness to the flow of creation. 13 and 20. 13 and 20. And it goes 1 through 13, and it goes through these different aspects of creation, all 20 of them, and then starts again. So it's a weave of those two numbers. And you can go way into thinking about it, and it will do you no good whatsoever. It's only what you don't think about it, but end up just knowing from inside that does you any benefit. I know that sounds completely backwards from everything you were taught in school, but, well, we're not in school, are we? A side note, I mean, part of this is that consciousness, we've been talking about consciousness as the awareness of being aware, and we've been talking about the mind as a tool that consciousness uses to see the similarities and differences between things, right? Consciousness, overall, it has a job to do. Consciousness divides creation. It divides it. Have you ever noticed that when you are really conscious, you can see the veins in the leaf, or you can see the different colors on a butterfly's wings, or you can count the stars. But when you're upset, and maybe not so conscious, everything looks kind of the same. Have you ever noticed that? The more conscious you are, the more divisions there are in your experience. And the less conscious you are, the more prejudiced you are. Have you noticed that? Where everything and all the experiences or all the people look the same. The job of consciousness is to notice the differences. That's how you count your blessings. That's how you appreciate the experience. Is by looking and picking out the differences. So consciousness divides. And the Mayan calendar says that it divides by 13. All consciousness is divided by 13 in increments of 13 and 13 and 13 and 13. 13 is the number by which consciousness operates. No wonder 13 is unlucky and satanic. Well, creation has a job too. Creation, all of creation, multiplies. And all of creation multiplies by the factor of 20. 20 times. Anybody here studied biology? The very beginning of biology, from the single egg and on. Multiplies by 20. That's how you got so big. It's through multiplication of your own cells. And it does it in factors of 20. From top to bottom.